Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 59 of the Global Exclusive Podcast. This week, we're sponsored by the new raid format, where you fight a boss. This week, we're sponsored by the new raid format, where you fight a boss. This week, we're sponsored by a new raid format, where you fight a boss.
Oh, come on, it's not that bad.
It's 3 goddamn turns. But we also have a guest this week.
We do. Welcome, Deus, to the podcast.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, nice of you to want to join us. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm actually an IT guy, but I am liking this YouTube thing a lot more, so I've kind of just been doing YouTube stuff for a while now. Haven't taken it seriously until 2 years ago, but I'm still trying to grow and all that kind of good stuff.
Wow, very cool. So you're kind of resaddling, and you're also in a room with like IT people. So in good or bad company, I don't know what to say about that.
It depends.
So you kind of try to take it seriously, right? You focus on your growth. You know,
I'm
like
taking
you're trying to
1,000,000% serious.
And use the algorithm and whatnot.
Very cool. So, I mean, so what got you? So you said you're kind of resaddling, right?
Yes.
So what got you to want to go into content creation?
Well, there was this. I don't know if anyone's heard of him, Umberrays. I was actually just like a stream viewer of his, and then I saw that he was doing it, and he's not. I'm not taking shots at him. He's not the most hyped guy in the world, and I was like, I'm kind of like that, so why not I try it?
Hey, but you know, it's so funny because I'm a huge Twitch nerd. So I watch a ton of streams and sub and follow to a ton of streamers. Okay, not a ton, but like a handful at least. I don't have that much money. But what you're saying, this story, like this is the story of like every big Twitch streamer. Honestly, like it's kind of like, hey, they started in the channel, followed the dude, and then kind of realized, hey, I can do this too. That's
exactly.
pretty cool. So now like so. You've been doing this for a while, and seriously, what would you say is your favorite content creation moment? Like your favorite streaming or video moment? What was it?
I'd say the pulling Sora in a limited amount of Lapis, and then flip-flopping on my alt account and not getting Sora for like, I was like a lot of Lapis. That was pretty salty. I love it.
The stories of not pulling. Actually, speaking of not pulling, Muspel, you had to pity Snow, didn't you?
Yes, I spent 40k Lapis to get him. It was awful.
Oof.
Oh, poor guy. Listen, I want to share a story on that too, because what happened to me just before the podcast is I got the 4-star ticket from the raid, and I'm gonna spend this on Mazurka's banner because I'm desperately trying to get Mazurka, and I accidentally click on the Snow banner and I click summon, and you know, like sometimes your hands are just faster than your brain. So like the moment I realized I am in the wrong banner, I click the summon button. And you know what happens? A fucking envy crystal comes down, and I'm like, fuck my life. This is gonna be Snow, and I don't need Snow. I have Gabby EX3 soon. Like, why the fuck? I opened the crystal. It's Mazurka. Oh, this was the best thing that ever happened. Oh, I just had share.
Once again, Barrows rewarded for making bad decisions.
Yeah, true. I mean, see, the universe is not punishing me. The universe is encouraging me, so I guess I can keep being stupid, right?
I'm more concerned about the fact that your brain is apparently slower than your hands.
Oh, come on. Like, listen, you have been on this podcast for 1 year. Would you describe me as a man with a fast brain?
He has a point.
All right. So let's actually get into the content. What is the content this week?
We
already mentioned Snow.
Yeah, the new NV base tank.
Finally.
He's only a cover tank, which is unlike Gabranth and Phasey, who could also provoke. But he can do both physical and magical cover in different forms. He has physical cover in his base form and magic cover in his shift form. He is very, very tanky. He's the tankiest unit in the game right now. Once he gets set up, on the first turn, he's going to be squishier than Phasey and probably squishier than Gabranth. Actually, maybe not on that second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you get him charged up and can use his 90% mitigation thing, he's basically unkillable.
So I've heard a lot of people say that kind of once you get him charged up, or this like once you get him going, what does that mean? Because when I'm looking at his kit, I see that like his 90% mitigation costs 48 crysts, right? And then he has. Yeah, tell me please.
He has a skill that fills his LB gauge by 30. He can't multicast that skill, and
that's the
but
same
he also
like
has,
with
he also
lightning
has some
as well.
autofill. So it's not that bad to use the 90% mitigation skill every other turn, but you're probably not going to have it filled and ready until turn 3 at the earliest.
Wait, but I mean, you're gonna have to use it every other turn after turn 3 anyway.
Yeah, he can dual cast the mitigation. He just can't dual cast the fill.
Ideally, you probably want to. He has like 4 innate autofill, so if you want to guarantee it, ideally gear him for like another 5 more, and then you basically alternate like cover plus 90% mitigation, LB fill skill, physical mitigation plus 90% mitigation, LB
Oh god,
fill,
but his action economy sounds like ass.
Yeah, it's a very
It's
strict rotation. But if you can maintain that kind of 4-turn cycle, he'll maintain 90% gen for himself, 50% for the party, the defense or spirit buff, and then his cover as well.
Yeah, he also has 50% typed, right? Which is like insanely strong, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it just me?
Yeah, that's quite strong. Again, it's something that he's maybe not going to have up right away, depending on what you have him do on turn 1. He certainly can use it on turn 1. He can just dual cast that with his cover, but you might want to do cover plus 75% mitigation for himself instead. It depends on who's more at risk, him or the team.
Right. So Deus, like, do you have Snow on your JP account? Have you used them a lot?
Actually, I didn't pull him from his banner. I pulled him off banner, so you know how salty that's going to be. And actually, I have not used them whatsoever. I personally, if this is personal preference, I think between Snow and Finzi, is I think I just prefer Finzi because she's more flexible. She does not, if she dies, it's not a big deal. Unlike where if you're going to be using him for a magic tank, and if he dies, it's basically game over because he has a 2-turn.
Oh really? Why is that?
He has a 2-turn cooldown on his shift ability.
Oh shit!
Yeah. If you're using him as a magic cover tank, you cannot afford for him to die.
Oh shit!
Unless you're running like Emperor Fu, I guess. But why the fuck are you running Emperor Fu?
Wait, why would Emperor Fu save you?
He can apply magic cover to an ally.
Oh, I did not know that actually. Shit.
Most people don't because nobody uses him for good reason. Like he was okay when he came out. He's not great now.
I have 10 of him now. Yeah, well, you know, when Emperor Fu came out, didn't he have this crazy LB fill thing as well? Because I know a lot of people used him just as he came out.
Yeah, he has a skill that completely fills the LB gauge of all allies.
Oh yeah, that's it.
It costs a full Esper gauge though.
Yeah, so you put Terra and him in one team, and you're golden.
And
yeah, so ideally, sorry, go ahead.
He had some niche breaks that I actually like to have, and also he had like some killers. It was nice. It was a little, not the biggest.
I remember really, really wanting him back in the day. It's just been a long time, and now I have 10 because I pulled on the ban. I don't know why, but I have like 10 or something at least. And now they're thankfully, thanks to the quality of life fixes, in my reserves. So thank you, Alim and Gumi, for that, actually.
There's a few other things about Snow that I want to mention. The first is
his VC and the STMR?
We can cover that later.
Okay.
Jeez, Barrows, why are you so keen to talk about those when there's still important stuff about the unit?
Restraint.
Come on, Barrows. First off, some people have looked at his kit and like talked about using him as a damage dealer. Don't do that.
Can you?
It's bad.
Does he have damage abilities?
Yes, he has. His LB has a fairly high modifier. He has a bunch of LB damage. He has high buffs. He has amps. The problem is that you can't get his defense or spirit high enough for it to matter.
Yeah, I mean,
don't try.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be
it won't be terrible, but it won't be worth using. But yeah, I think in terms of like, because mentioned the comparison to FaZe before, I think he's a lot more likely to see use as a physical tank because he just sort of compares more favorably to the competition, but also he has a higher cover mit on his physical cover, which is a weird choice. But in terms of utility, we have no utility.
Another thing I want to mention is his gear selection, which is terrible. He can't use heavy armor. He can't use heavy shields. He can only use fists and axes and light shields and clothes and hats.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a Gabby where you're not using shields. That's pretty cool. I like that. Though.
You are using a shield. You're
Yeah.
almost definitely using a shield.
Wait, you are?
Yeah, he can use light shields.
Oh, he can. I thought you said he couldn't use shields. Sorry,
He can't use heavy shields.
Heavy shields. Okay. So
You know,
you are
the
going to
better
use a
ones.
light shield, all right? But so he's not like Gabby. Like you can't do like you're not dual wielding two swords.
You can do
You
dual wield
No, you
potentially.
definitely don't.
He
Because
does have
it-
true wield for defense and spirit.
The problem is that he has
Oh.
so much more TDH, and
I see.
it would be hard for dual wield to be better, I think.
So
Yeah,
since he
'cause-
can't wield swords, and I feel like swords are kind of the only weapon that we have decent defensive stats on. Like we have the sleep sword, we have.
Oh, Barros, you
so-
just gave me a segue. Let's talk about his TM and STMR.
Okay, let's talk about his TM and STMR.
His TM is whatever, it's 40% defense and spirit, and static HP,
Oh,
which is I think a first for a materia. It's 750 HP, which is not
Yeah.
great for most units. That's going to be like 10% ish by NV standards, right?
I mean, how does
10%
that
for, like,
work?
tanks, closer to 20 for others, probably.
but wait, how does that work? So this base HP that's applied by a materia, does that get multiplied by your HP percentage passives?
No, it's the same as the flat stat passives. It's just added at the end with nothing modifies it.
Right. Yeah. then it's
So
not that good.
that's nothing special. His STMR is a fist with 175 defense and 175 spirit.
Wait, this has no attack. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, first off, I guess the thing to mention is that since it has no attack, it means that he will not deal any damage if he's countering for any reason. Not that that matters anyway. It's just a fun fact because he gets utterly fucked by the logarithmic damage formula.
Oh,
And
right,
actually,
because it actually has 0 attack on it for that purpose, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And I'm
I mean,
pretty
his
that also actually fucks his defense scaling damage as well as.
I thought
Really?
Sure.
I thought we figured out that wasn't affected by the logarithmic scale.
I've still heard conflicting information on it, so I'm not entirely sure. I know his spirit damage would be fine, but the defense one might be affected by it.
Okay, yeah. So who knows on that? Not that it matters because those skills suck anyways. But yeah,
I'll
so
use it regardless.
he has 250% innate TDH or not TDH, single weapon for defense
True one,
and for spirit in his
whatever
brave
we call
shift,
it.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he gets 50% more from his vision card. So yeah, if you're using
His
one of these, you get a lot of defense and spirit.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some crazy ass screenshots on our Discord. Like, holy shit. Like 40k HP and 4k spirit. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Speaking of that,
I mean-
actually, in my Discord, I've seen someone share 6,700 spirit snow.
That's
What
that's
the
probably
shit?
with a buff, right?
No, that's not
Right?
a buff. That's
So,
shown stat.
please let it be with a buff.
No, it's
Is
not
that
a buff.
possible?
Apparently, it's
Holy
possible.
shit.
He
I
does
mean,
he
hey,
has very low HP, but he'll have 6,700 spirit.
but I mean, dude, if you have 6,700 spirit, then his, spirit scaling damage might actually start mattering.
Well, he wants LB damage too, and
okay.
killers and stuff. He probably doesn't
But
have a lot of room
he
for
has
that.
some type of spirit scaling, just one hit ability in his shift form, if I remember correctly, like a
Yes, he
finisher
does.
ability.
Yeah, he does, but
200.
it's his LB, so you would need killers and stuff. Like even with that much spirit, I don't think it's going to be much.
But I want to say something about his VC because Muspel, you're not doing your job. His VC looks very, very cool. Like the little animation thing looks very cool. It kind of looks like lightning is trying to kill him, but then he's alive. And I don't know what's going on because I actually haven't played Lightning Returns. But it's very cool. And it's powerful, I guess.
I also want to mention that he heals himself fairly well. He has a counter that heals himself for 5%, and you can use it up to 5 times per turn. If you're covering, that has a pretty good chance of triggering at least 2 or 3 times. And with how little damage he takes, he can probably sustain himself pretty well in a lot of fights. You can also use Upgrade Package, which will heal him for 10% at the start of each turn, and also lets him equip heavy shields. So that can be a good fit if you have that item.
Yeah, I wish. The thing I want to say,
the banner.
yeah, but the thing I want to say about his VC though is that unlike Gabby's or Gabby's to a degree, but definitely Phasey's, this is really not going to be useful for anyone else except him, because all the passives on it require you to wear an axe or a fist, right? And
Fists aren't that uncommon of a weapon type. There's some other units that can use it, but it's certainly not great. Like male units that can use fists is not, or male tanks that can use fists is not a super long list.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of that's a bit of a shame, I'd say. But I mean, I understand why they lock them behind a weapon type requirement, because otherwise this card would be insane. You're going to be getting 80% HP on the card as well as flat 1000 base, etc. So it's
yeah. It's a very good card if you can activate all the conditions on it, or even just half of them. But otherwise, it's probably worse than Gabranths or whatever.
So Muspel, I mean, we all know you pull for snow, obviously, because you always pull for tanks. That's kind of your mantra. And
I mean, I skipped Sabin.
Tank. Great joke. But I wanted to ask Deus, do you have a unit type? Do you have a unit type you always go for when it is released?
Mages.
Always mages. That's interesting.
So you're like the opposite of me then.
Yeah, the opposite of Muspel. I was just going to say, you two need to fight. No, but okay, so why mages?
Because they're flexible in every situation, pretty much at this point on the JP side. And
really?
Yeah, especially with current ones. They're a lot more flexible than they used to be.
And we're not talking about evokers then, I guess. This is like mages.
Well, I'm putting them with mages for this
discussion. Yeah.
Evokers are a type of mage.
They are. I mean, they're just a better mage, I guess. Because holy shit, I just adore the fact that I can just put Terra into the weekly challenge. She just tears through everything, and I don't even have to gear her. That's so nice, and I get all the red crystals.
Yeah, I mean, I think more of the JP trials have been like magic damage favoring, or completely like either is fine. There's been very few that have been like actually physically favored, I think.
Yeah. All right, so we have another unit on the banner, right? Does anyone know who that is?
This is.
Well, it's a mage. Kind of.
Yeah, Sarah.
So hold on. Who knows anything about Final Fantasy 13 lore? So wait, isn't Sarah like Snow's girlfriend and Vanille is Fang's girlfriend, or is it the other way around?
Sarah is Snow's girlfriend and Lightning's sister.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's her kid sister. I remember that from Final Fantasy 13 too. Yes, now I remember. Okay, it's coming back. Back.
Sorry, Lady Hero.
Yeah, good thing she's not on.
I'm glad that I'm here to be the expert on Final Fantasy lore.
I actually liked. No, go ahead.
If that's the case, there's something I really, really want to know about Snow. Why is he like? I don't know if he's like an antagonist in Lightning Returns, but why is he fighting Lightning? What's going on with that?
I have not played Lightning Returns, so I will make a wild guess and say that it's because he wants to marry Sarah and Lightning doesn't want him to.
Okay, and that's a bold
nobody can
guess.
Convince me otherwise.
That's a bold guess. But I actually think so. I haven't played Lightning Returns myself. I actually need to play that game. I should. But as I understand it, Snow turns into a Seath toward in the game, and that's his brave shift where he looks all evil.
10 people that know what that means.
A Seath is somebody who didn't do their job as a crystal slave, and now they have to be a mega crystal slave.
Wait, what was the term for the crystal slave? There was a CF, right? Lissy, yeah, and then Seath is okay. I'm really happy we got to straighten out all the Final Fantasy 13
How am I the expert on lore this episode?
Yeah, okay. But okay, so Sarah, what's up with her?
She is bad.
She's got this whole mess of her old mage kit, and then she just ignores it all and uses 2 of her new NV skills for being a mage.
I would say her base form is not very good, but her brave shift form is actually quite good, and I've used it on it several occasions as a healer.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's up with her? What's up with her shift form?
Healer. Yeah, she's missing a lot of normal healer stuff. But she can heal. She can do AoE barriers on a cooldown. and she has AoE re-raise. But
Yeah,
the
I
problem
would
is
say.
sorry, go ahead.
I would say she starts out as a really nice healer, and then after she runs out of uses of her grandest Waltz of the Fairies, she becomes a bit more underwhelming. But her LB still remains good because that has like a pretty strong barrier
But
and
now
ailment resist and decent mitigation.
But now I see what you're meaning, Deus, because she can actually chain and heal at the same time, which is
Yes.
something that I do have a slight hard on for. So that's really cool, actually. And but so the heal move costs evocation gauge, but she can get that back with another bolting strike move. That was very nice, actually. Huh? Hey, damn it! I only have 3 of her.
I think the big problem with using her as a healer for most people is going to be that if you have 7 copies of her, you probably have a better healer, or you're in a situation where you don't need healers on your team. So it's not that she's bad at what she does; it's that the people who have her likely don't need her.
Yeah, but I mean, this sounds more like
say
something you can slot in.
If you don't have a healer at all, then definitely go for her. Is my
I would say don't go for her because it takes 7 copies. Unless like if you have 6 copies, maybe pull for a 7th. If you don't have any, I would absolutely not try to pull for 7 copies of her to get a healer.
I mean, I don't know, if you have 4 or 5 and then are willing to like get the shard bundle for EX1, that could be fine too.
Definitely,
because it is pretty solid, and especially when like sometimes you just need your healer to like top up the team, being able to do that and chain if you're using damage dealers that are also bolting strike, that's solid.
No, it's actually pretty sweet, I want to say, because this is what I hoped Kyrie would do, but she doesn't, because like if you're healing with her, you're not really chaining, or you're chaining really poorly. This is actually a pretty cool unit. Damn, now I'm sad that I only have 3 of her. Damn it. But that's cool. This is cool. So, but what happens in her base form though? Like Dream, what did you say? Like she just lost, or she doesn't use any of her standard mage kit. She uses only her
base
new
form is just bad.
She pretty much spams Stone Blow and Breaking Ground, which are 2 of her new skills, and just quad casts Earth Bolting Strike. Does like alright damage, but like pretty low tier. It's like worse than Radiant Lightning was last week.
Oh, really?
Slightly better than the old pack of like Sol and stuff.
Because I was gonna say, is she an Earth version of Shui Yu? But apparently not.
She is an Earth version of Shui Yu in the same sense that DP Fina is a light version of Envy Terra. Does about half as much damage.
All right, okay. But I mean, okay, so half as much damage. Where does that put her on like the damage ranking as a mage? Where would she stand?
She's about on par with Sabin.
With who?
Sabin.
Oh, Sabin. Okay, yeah. So then she's like on par with all the like mid-range mages like Sol and Aerith and so on, right?
Sol, Kefka. She's a little bit ahead of Aerith.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the top end of that like lower range.
Right.
About the same as like Wolf Edel ended.
But I mean, this means you can start collecting a pretty sweet Final Fantasy 13 team. So like I know Lady Hero, she does her thing where she just wants lightning, but if you actually like Final Fantasy 13 as a game, now you like Sarah is actually a decent healer and a decent mage, and then you have Snow as a tank, you have our Lord and Savior Lightning, you have the other Lightning, the SOS one.
Okay.
Very interesting. Cool. But a shame. I mean, or a shame. It sounds like she got the standard NVA treatment, right? Like she does decent damage by NVA standards as a mage, and then she can also have her cool niche of chaining and healing.
Yeah, I'd say the damage is like a bit behind curve even for an MVA. Like at this point,
really,
it would be more appropriate like a month or 2 ago. But like because she has the healing kit as well, like maybe it's fair enough.
Yeah, another thing I want to mention is that you can't really use her as a damage dealer that also heals very well because the damage in the Brave Shift is so low, and she has cooldowns on shifting back and forth that'll kind of mess you up if you try to do both. Like she can heal in an emergency, but don't expect her to do much rule compression.
But I feel more that you have her there. She does like a small amount of damage, but most importantly, she also chains while healing.
Yeah, support chaining, sure, but don't expect her to be contributing damage while healing, or to be healing while dealing significant damage.
Yeah, the mods are relatively low, so I can see that. I can see that being a thing. And she also has this weird counter heal. Is that ever going to be relevant? Because it's pretty strong, actually.
It's split over 3 turns, so it's not as strong as it looks.
Oh, it's a region. Okay, my bad.
It's like about as strong as Kiraga. So that's going to be what, like 3 or 4,000 healing probably.
Yeah.
Just
You
eyeballing
also probably don't really want her getting hit that much.
Yeah, exactly. Well, units don't really even get hit nowadays,
Well,
right? So,
if you're using Mirage, it has a 50% chance to counter, and it lasts 3 turns. It's reasonably likely that it'll be up all the time. It's just it doesn't heal for that much. So
yeah, okay. All right. Well, these are the only 2 units that we had on the banner. So, what more content do we have this week?
how do you feel about Dune?
Like the book or?
Sure, the book or any of the adaptations.
The book or any large piles of sand.
Well, large piles of sand are semi-erotic to me because there are some things
Have
you
you
can do
ever
to large piles of sand.
let's cut that thought off and ask: have you ever wanted
Made love to a
experience
large pile of
Dune
sand?
in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius?
But Barris, it's
Um,
coarse and rough and gets everywhere.
So depends. Would this version of Dune have a big gaping hole of a worm?
I've made a huge mistake.
I would like to formally apologize to our lovely guest.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So
I'm
we have a
sorry, Deus.
sandworm
I
trial.
just need to behave. So this is another one of those trials where we're kind of just crushing it with DPS units, which I personally like.
This is the sad worm.
The sad worm. Why the sad worm? I mean,
it is just completely non-threatening. It's so easy.
Yeah, exactly. So just to break it down to our listeners, all you need to negate all, well, you're not negating all damage, but you're negating all non or all lethal damage by what? A single stack of Mirage and an evade, physical evade cover tank, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
That's it.
And provoke on someone else for the dispel.
Right. You also need provoke. Yeah, so provoke, 1 stack of Mirage, and a dodge tank. Okay, cool. And then you take no damage, and then you do this cool exercise of filling your roster with as much damage as you can to kill it fast. But it has a gimmick, right?
I mean, what I guess it can technically qualify as a gimmick. I assume you were talking about the gravity move that does.
No, I was talking about poison.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
The poison actually does more damage than any of your DPS will ever do.
Yeah.
Yeah. This boss is vulnerable to poison. I know we talked about this a few weeks ago, but
Yeah.
for those that weren't listening then, poison deals 10% damage per turn.
And you can apply it twice, right?
I think so.
The first time's guaranteed.
Mine,
Okay. And then you have
the
a
second
chance.
one, had trouble applying for me, but it did apply right at the end. So yeah, it gains partial resistance to the second one.
So what turn count are you looking at if you don't do any poison at all? If you just do a pure? Does anyone know?
I have never tried.
It can depend a lot on your team because you can fit a bunch of damage dealers. I think I took 12 turns and I think only did 40% with poison out of the possible 60% because the second one wouldn't really apply.
Well,
So
fortunately, poison's not really something hard to get by. It's easily obtainable. So there really isn't a situation where you wouldn't want to use poison.
Yeah, no. I was just thinking,
Yeah.
Because we've kind of heard that it's tanky. So just thinking, what are we really looking at? Because the poison does shave off, 40% guaranteed, right? And in the best case, you might get off, 60, 70? 60%. Okay, 60. Yeah, how many, how many ticks do you get?
Is guaranteed. It lasts 3 turns at a time, I think.
Okay, so you can get...
I'm not sure if that varies with how what applies it, but I think it's always 3 turns.
Okay. Yeah, so fairly easy trial, right? Even...
Very.
I'm thinking even if you're a super new player, right? You could still... Well, okay, I guess evade tank is difficult to gear for a super new player, but if you can pull that off...
even if you don't have your tank evade, as long as you actually, like, if its attack is decently broken, it tickles.
Oh, really? Oh, I actually did not know that. So you
From
can
what
just
I've
run
seen,
a
at
normal
least.
tank.
Yeah. I think you can just run a regular physical tank, keep up breaks, and it will, like, not even threaten them anyway. It's so easy.
Hey, Deus, so we have because I just sorry, okay, my brain just became jumbled in many ways. So one cool thing about this trial is that it has no stats passes, meaning that breaks hurt it a lot, right? And we only have a 90% spirit break right now with lightning. Do we in JP get a like something similar for physical?
It depends if Global is going to be getting this collaboration, but if everybody's heard of him, Hawkeye, he has an 87% defense break.
87%. Is that the highest?
That is the highest.
Cool.
I think Corral also has an 87% defense break, maybe?
Who is that?
Just off the top of my head. One of the Season 3 characters.
Yeah, on his LB.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just that Hawkeye's a lot
Okay.
easier to use because it's a cooldown, not a low burst.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Corral doesn't really want to use his base LB that much otherwise.
So I guess, like, I mean, lightning in SOS lightning is really good in this trial, I guess, for enabling, like, well, Terra, right? That's our hardest burster mage.
And she multiplies all of your magic damage by 1.5 compared to an 85% break on this.
Right.
So, yeah,
no, but I was thinking, like, hey, who's the big hitter?
What you are, you're-
Right? Okay.
So
Cool,
just for
cool.
context, I did some quick calculations. If you're using an 85% break, your tank would probably take like under 2,000 damage from the boss's AoE, and that's the hard hitting AoE.
Oh,
The other
so
one
you
is
just need a
way
regen
weaker.
and you're fine, kind of.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. So really, this boss is an actual joke.
Yes.
And what are the rewards? Is there anything to look forward to?
There's a really good materia. It has 75% Spirit Killer, which is already great, and then it also has 40% attack and magic. So Spirit Killer is one of the most annoying killers to gear for. It's less bad in GL because of Gudria's TM if you have a couple copies of that, but even still, there's not a lot of sources of it.
And is it magic and physical or just physical?
Just physical.
Okay.
So I guess the
Perfect.
magic is there for hybrids.
And there is this sword as well that's actually kind of interesting. So the
yeah.
easy mode drops a sword that gives you more of the true single weapon passive, right? Meaning that, like, for someone like lightning, you could, I mean, if you're not min-maxing, you could get lightning, SOS lightning, up to a fairly good amount of attack by using her TMR and that sword, right?
I do think this is
You
probably.
could, but there's not much point.
I think there's it's a trap because you want to use a two-handed weapon for variants.
Yeah, of course. But I'm thinking, for a new player, someone that just started doesn't have. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you actually
the
have
trial
access
is
to good
easy enough,
two-handed.
and there's no turn limit. So for a new player, this could certainly be a good pickup. But it might take them a long time to kill the boss because it is very tanky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, you get 60% for free, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is.
Really
Like, I mean,
good
I guess if you, I mean, but okay, but look at it this way: you bring a friend, and it's gonna take you 24 turns. So it's it's not that bad. Bring a friend. That's the answer to everything in FFBE. Cool. Okay, but yeah, so not too challenging, I guess. But hey, I wanted to get into something else because Muspel, you did this joke about the new raid format, and I am fucking ready to defend it. Okay, I am ready to defend the new raid format. Who else doesn't like this new raid format? I will fight for this.
You're gonna have to fight me.
Oh my god. Okay. First, I have a question.
2v2 then.
Okay, but I have a question to you, Deus. Like, do we see this returning in JP?
It does not return, but Global is kind of in an odd spot where they didn't do it with Ashura and Bahamut, but then they did do it in the next one. So it's kind of weird how they.
Yeah,
skipped it.
JP only ever did it those 2 times, right? And then they stopped because people in JP hated it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so
Little reactionary JP.
But I wanna share my take on it. So I'm not an idiot. Okay, I am an idiot, but I also understand why people don't like this raid format. But here's my take on it. A raid is not challenging. It's this repetitive content. So I get that you don't want to spend too much time into it, but it's literally like all other raids are just taking whatever unit, optimizing it for attack, and you one-shot the raid and max damage. This time I actually had to craft a team that would be able to kill it on turn 1 because I don't want to wait 3 turns.
I think the problem I have with it is that it's awful for new players. And
is it though?
And casual
you can just
players.
survive 3 turns.
It's so time consuming.
It's not that bad.
But
It is.
It's not though, because
you in a week from now, you're gonna start thinking differently. In a week from now, I promise.
All right. Yeah. I mean, no, I get it.
I'll get into my argument. In basically every mechanical way, in terms of like reward ratios and things, it is better. The only way it is worse is in the arbitrary way of wanting to keep your orbs clear, which is imposed by you. Everything like provided by the game mechanically for rewards, milestones, the new format is superior.
What do you mean
Because
superior?
you
What, do we get more?
Yeah, you get basically 3 orbs worth of points and coins and rewards for every orb you spend.
Oh,
So even if you take 3 turns, you can get basically the same amount of rewards like per turn with a third of the end screens
Dream.
and 3 times.
I don't think you
the,
understand.
orb inventory.
wait. So Dream,
having
you're actually
hit
saying this is
reload.
faster?
I'm having to hit reload and chain instead of
For
just hitting
clearing
repeat.
the rewards, yes.
It's the worst.
I mean,
I'm
okay.
traumatized.
No, and I get your view, Muspel. I get it. But I did enjoy gearing my lightnings for this. I actually did, and I even used Vanille, and that's fun. But and if this is actually technically faster, then like you all fuckers have nothing to complain about.
Yeah, even with all the chain, like setting up chains and stuff, running this once is faster than running the old one 3 times, and
Right.
that's what it's equivalent to.
But unfortunately, so it's not returning. But like so the higher rewards, I guess, are not returning either. I guess like then the next raid would be a standard vanilla raid, or I mean we don't know, but that's what we would expect.
It's kind of a weird thing because I think the next raid is the FMA one, but I don't know if Gold is getting it anytime soon.
Oh shit, the Elric brothers! Oh my god, why is Cotton not here? She could like geek out.
Well, we'll get to them when they release, hopefully. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Elric raid had like completely the old format,
It did.
but I don't know if any of the ones after that had like the increased like max points per orb from the higher damage cap.
One thing I do want to mention is that apparently this raid can give you trans pearls from the summon after you've cleared out the boxes.
Whoa, are you kidding me?
That's what I've heard. I have not cleared out the boxes yet.
The overflow box is kind of a separate issue because maybe like that might actually be worse because the rates for the good stuff are so low from what I've heard, and it costs a lot per summon.
But I mean, it's more than
quite
0.
but yeah.
I mean, there's a chance, right? There's a chance because I really need these orbs. I have, like, Sinzar was here in an episode. He was telling us it's gonna change because JP handing them out like ecstasy at a rave, but that's not happening.
It's happened some. Like I have 15 pearls now, and I just spent 4 the
How
other
the
day.
fuck do you have what? Where? How? What?
We got a
Did I
bunch
miss something?
from like I don't know, various stuff. Like I haven't been buying them, and I've barely converted any NV dupes, so I haven't pulled that many.
Are you kidding me? I had to fucking buy 2 orbs from the VIP shop just the other day to EX1 people. Like, okay, I have 3 right now, and I need 4 because I want to EX2. Oh shit, no, I need 6. Fuck me, I need 6 orbs. Where am I gonna get 6 orbs, Muspel?
I think I got like 2 from the slots. I don't remember where all the other ones came from, but it was just from like events and stuff.
Had one.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like or maybe I've just gone crazy and EX2'd a bunch of units. I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
we all know that you have
VIP,
poor impulse control.
Yeah, that
VIP
is true.
coin income has increased, and we get basically 1 fairly cheap one for VIP coins each month as well.
Well, we get
been buying
2.
those.
They cost
right.
1,000.
It's by limit too, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So you can get 2. I mean, I'm just gonna buy 2 of those again because I want Shui Yu to EX2, I want Lightning to EX2, and I want Mazurka to EX2. And I have 3 orbs, so I need 3 more.
Okay, so I think I know why Dream doesn't have any pearls.
Dream, it's me, Baros. Hi,
Baros.
Muspel.
I actually have a decent
Dream, I'm
amount
so
right now,
sorry that I
like,
insulted you that way.
Ouch.
But yeah, oh my god, now I'm gonna have to prioritize, and unfortunately, I think Shui Yu is going to get the short end of the stick, because I'm probably gonna focus on Mazurka and Lightning, actually. All right. It is what it is. It is what it is. But hey, since we got into a bit of a speculation on JP, since we have Deus here, you're kind of like a magic 8-ball. Or no, that's not what a magic 8-ball is, actually. But you're kind of like a crystal ball, is what I meant to say. So what are you looking forward, like, if you were me, who like, what would you be looking for in GL to get from JP?
There's going to be a lot of trials in the future that are going to be role compression heavy. So Global's gotten a little taste of it here and there, but it hasn't been that big of a deal. But it's going to be much more big of a deal in the future. Finishers are going to be required pretty much for most trials in the future. So that means that you have to have more roll compression, and also pretty much every trial moving forward is going to be 5-man.
Oh, wait, 5-man as in you can't bring a friend, or you just are limited to 5
They
units?
have a mission for it. They have a mission for 5 units.
Gumi, give us NVA AI Katie. She's perfect.
No, Gumi, if you fucking give us AI Katie, I will fly to Singapore and I will shit in your mailbox. Do not do that shit.
It's okay. COVID restrictions will prevent him from entering the country.
Will they? Will they? I'm not sure they will. I will swim the Atlantic Ocean. Actually, the Atlantic Ocean is the other way. Okay, never mind. I will swim some ocean to get to Singapore. Okay, I don't know which one, but there is an ocean. Okay, but so when you're saying roll compression, you're saying we will need to compress multiple rolls,
like Lightning,
in order to slot in more units, right?
Lightning is the best example, and that's why on my channel, at least, I was hyping her up, and I don't usually hype up units that much, but she can do a lot of things that you would want in a trial, like healing, breakage, all that kind of good stuff. So that's the reason why Lightning is like the first taste. She's like an appetizer for roll compression meta, basically.
Yeah.
Really? So, like, I mean, I guess if you run Lightning with Terra, you're kind of getting really strong breaks and heals. And I don't know if she can actually keep up her full break, if she needs to shift into her base form, or her Brave shift, because I don't remember she has a cooldown. Does anyone else?
She has normal breaks. She does have normal breaks.
Yeah. She does.
Only
Okay.
Brave shift
Spirit.
There is a cooldown, but it's short enough that she can do it.
I know. There's a cooldown, and she can keep that up 100% in her base form. But I'm thinking, if you have to shift into your Brave shift form in order to apply the Spirit break,
the breaks are in her shift form.
Yeah,
all of the breaks are shift.
Then that's fantastic. Holy shit. Yeah, I've never actually thought about Lightning like that. I just thought she was a really cool, well-designed unit, looks great, and I just wanted a damage dealer. But shit, now you open my eyes even more.
Did you just not listen to us when we talked about her in the episode where she came out?
I mean, when you guys talk, I kind of browse Pornhub categories, I'm not gonna lie.
God damn it.
In fact, right now I am looking at...
Nope. Okay.
Nope. And like with the lack of stat passive, sometimes she can really amp up that magic damage as well. So yeah, she's a great compression because I think the idea is for like these turn count missions and stuff, you really need to. There's not like, from what I've seen at least, correct me if I'm wrong, the trend is not necessarily that there's like tons of defensive stuff to cover. You just cover it in as few slots as possible to fit enough damage to hit those turn counts.
Pretty much.
So, I want to ask, like, you said Lightning was an example, or a taste of what's to come. So what other units are we looking at that are going to do this well, too?
Now, I'm not sure if Global's going to get this, because it's kind of, they will have to probably change it, but there is actually, I want to talk about it like a subsection. There's going to be items that will be coming out, like throwable items that also act as a chaining family, which is pretty interesting.
Really?
Chain coins.
What? Okay, that sounds interesting. How does that work? Like, do you need the throw ability, or do you just use the item?
You can use the item yourself, but there's still the classic no use item. So some current units can use throw item, or you can use
and that doesn't count towards the.
It does,
that doesn't count towards the mission.
It's okay. It's good.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. I didn't actually know that. So throw with the specific ability doesn't count for item use.
It does not.
Does it still cost an item out of your depot?
It does use an item.
Okay.
But you can buy multiple coins, so it's okay.
They cost like 3 million each, don't they?
Holy shit!
Yeah.
And wait, are they one use?
Well, consumable items are not like they're not consumed if you don't clear the fight.
Okay, but still, I mean, like 3 million. Although I guess like money is not really as much an issue nowadays, but still, it's a lot of money.
I mean, I've been sitting at Guild Cap for months.
You have it's like you and Hazard. I have no idea how you fucking sit on Guild Cap.
We farm raids.
But I farm raids too. What the fuck? I do all the raids. I try to empty my orbs. I empty all of my balls all the time, as often as I can.
Yes, but you're not a compulsive completionist that does things for no mechanical benefit.
Yeah, that's true.
And
that's true. Yeah.
And that's proven by the fact that you can see that this new raid format is nice.
Yeah, exactly. No, that is true. You know, I try to empty my balls once a day and not like 5 times a day.
I think that's all we have to talk about this week.
No. Because I have another question for you, Deus. Like, I was thinking, okay, so we're always talking about these cool things, but is there something that's really sucking that's coming our way? Like, something that you know about?
I know what to talk about. Chronicle battles. Now, it's a plus and minus in this situation. There's a plus and minus. The plus is that there's going to be some limited time equipment that you may have missed as a new player, if you're listening, or someone who's like an intermediate player who may have missed an event. There will be certain event exclusive stuff that will be permanently added to the game, like Moogle Charm, for example.
Permanent Moogle Charm.
Yeah.
Permanent Moogle Charm.
Oh.
I know that's a big thing for a lot of people. But the negative side is that it's probably the most grindiest aspect of the entire game history. Probably even
so what is it?
Moogle, the Mog cakes. So you basically have to go in with a bunch of bonus units like King Mog, but it has to be like an actual team, because this guy is kind of like in between a trial difficulty and an FFBE difficulty, kind of in between. So you can't just go in with like 2 no-name DPS and just one-shot him. It's not possible.
Oh, okay. But it's also very grindy. You mentioned Mog cakes, and I got PTSD.
It's insanely grind. They fixed a little bit in the next upcoming ones, but it's the first one from 15 is gonna be insanely grindy. No one's gonna like it, I promise.
But wait, is this permanent or
it's permanent.
This?
It's permanent edition.
Oh, okay. Oh, but hold on. So if it's permanent, then this is kind of like, hey, I can spend my energy here whenever I have nothing else to spend energy on.
Basically, King Mog is going to start going on the wayside. King Mog is going to be much easier to do because you can get more EP if you get more EX on your units, on your bonus units. For example, if I have like EX2 Noctis, the new one that'll be coming out, you'll get a lot more bonus than if you had EX1.
Oh shit, that's a pretty cool change actually. Gives you some like bonus also for, I guess that goes for NVAs too, right? So like if I have old school, actually old school Noctis didn't get an NVA. But okay, but if I had an NVA,
if
I got it to you.
And stuff, so.
Okay, cool.
So King Mog is going to be more like you're going to finish King Mog a lot sooner, so then you have to jump over into Chronicle Battle. And the reason why you want to do Chronicle Battle is because you can upgrade some of the old weapons. Like, for example, everybody knows Noctis's, CP Noctis, the S team arc got upgraded to +4, and it's like huge tech now. So that's the reason why you would want to do that.
So, but that is still permanent, right? So like there's no FOMO going on, right?
No,
but that's good.
Yeah. But it is still like
a small plus.
Because from what I said, JP gives a lot more free energy like pots right now than GL does. So like if GL's pot income doesn't like increase by quite a bit, then we will probably suffer.
I can already feel the Reddit complaints. I can already feel them coming out.
I might finally have a reason to use up my stockpile of 4,500 energy pots.
Yes.
How the fuck, Muspel?
I don't know.
I have 18 right now. That's
what are you spending them on?
Yeah, exactly. What are you spending them on?
Come on, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't even spend them that much. It's kind of like, I am close to, maybe I'm like 5K.
Let me check how many I actually have, because I think that's how many I have, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, you know what I use them? I use them kind of like I am playing a event, and then I see I'm 5K event points away from a rainbow ticket, for instance, and then I dump energy pots into that. But like that's all. I never do more than anything like that.
I burn like 200 on every Mog King event. Probably,
okay.
At least.
Listen, I said this in another episode. There has to be a fucking source of energy pods that I've missed, because there's no way.
Do you do Rad Wheel?
Yeah, the spins.
No, God, no.
Like, you have to do the spins.
That's
that's the big divider.
okay. So I
missed it as
checked.
well.
I was wrong. I do not have 4,500 energy pots. I have 4,750.
Oh my fucking God. What the shit? Okay, I need to do my ad wheels. I hear. Okay, but connected to this Deus. So, like when you say big grind, can you explain? Can you visualize it somehow? Like how long is it gonna take to get a +4 Noctis STMR if you start?
The first one is a long time. Like, all I can say is a long time. It depends on your pace, depends on your energy pot usage. Like, you, for example, you're gonna have a hard time, and the problem is the problem is not so much about the energy usage. It's more about you can't really influence the I don't know what Global is going to call them on JP. I'm calling them badges. So it's a secondary item that you get, and you can't influence it no matter how much bonus you have. And that's the problem with the first batch. The second batch they fixed a little bit because they actually let you influence the badge count. But the Noctis
and how do you influence it?
Bonus units.
Yeah, bonus units.
But okay, let's
I think from 9 onwards they like upgraded it to make it easier, and that was like a pretty significant change. But it didn't backfill to like the 2 from 15.
It's unfortunate.
Right. But let's pretend there exists an idiot playing this game that never does the ad roll and has 18 pots. Like, if this idiot can't use any pots, like, is he going to be grinding for like, or he or she, I mean, I don't know, this is a fictive person. Is this person going to be grinding for like weeks, months? Like,
it took me over a month to get Noctis to +4.
Oh my God. What? And you use pots, right?
A few here and there. I was kind of busy, so not, I wasn't like playing 24/7, but it did take me a month.
But okay, hey, a month. That feels a bit rewarding, though. That feels like a pretty nice trade-off. I mean, okay, I definitely can see the pitchforks coming, but it's kind of something to build towards.
But what if they do this every month, Barrows?
I mean, what do you mean? So I have to kind of...
They keep releasing new items like this.
Plus there's other
okay, so
I
do feel...
items. They're irresistible.
Okay. I feel the anxiety building now that you're talking about this. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I feel like what we need is like significantly increased energy pot income and the changes from like to bonus from 9 onwards to be backfilled to 15, and then it'll be kind of okay.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, let's see. I guess, we've gotten some things. I'm not too hopeful about GL changes, to be honest, because lately I really feel we're getting copy pasted to the amount that like skill abilities are still in Japanese, right? So it's kind of, I don't know how much to hope for.
It's kind of funny that it's kind of like the inverse now, that where Global's not really innovating anything as much as they used to, and now JP's crazily innovating. They're making so many new things.
I know. I was talking about this just the other episode, actually, because it's so weird. Like, before, Gumi was the ones knocking it out of the park with innovation, and now they're just not shitting the bed. That's mean, but they're not really doing much, right? Where Alim is really pushing the boundaries. So that's a shame.
Maybe Alim just came over and like stole all the good people from Gumi. And like, we will take these now.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I just, yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. But on the other hand, we are getting what the JP players are getting. We're just getting it a bit later. It's just unfortunate because before we had this running joke, right, in the GL community that JP is beta, right? Because like they test stuff in JP and then we get the proper version in GL. But that's not really happening because whatever they test in JP, we get too, and we get all the bad parts of it, like until we get the good parts. So. All right, but I think actually we're good for this episode. This was a really long episode. I just want to end by saying one thing, Deus. So, of course, we're going to put your... so, listeners, if you want to look at Deus's content on YouTube, you're going to find the link to his channel in the description. But do you want to say something about your channel and kind of get people to subscribe and get over there?
So, I make unit reviews. I go right down to the nitty-gritty. That's what people usually say that I do. I make unit showcases. I do a lot of polls. I talk about certain current events most times, and I will always speak my mind. I'm never going to be a fake. I'm never going to try to be a fake. So that's my channel. That's basically the spirit of my channel.
Very nice, very nice. You're kind of like Muspel, but like you actually like mages. All right. Well, cool. Thank you so much for hanging with us, Deus. It was actually delightful, and you had some really cool information for us as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening this week. You have a great time, and don't forget to empty all of your balls as often as you can,
All right,
because this
see you next
event
week,
gives you a lot.
everybody. Bye.